Hello everyone and welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today we are going to be reviewing and swatching the Elate Cosmetics Blush Balms. This is their cream blush offering that looks a little something like this. They do come in these little cardboard packages that you can then put into their refillable palette. So they are these long rectangles, and it is their cream blush formula that retails for $25. That is also safe to use on the eyes and the lips. So these balms do everything. Quickly to mention the palettes that they can live in, there are two different options that these will fit. We do have the capsule palette, which is going to be a little bit of a smaller option. It'll hold about like 4 or 6 of these. And then we've got the ritual palette, which as you can see holds a ton. It would hold all 10 of them. I have all 10 of them in here, including 4 other cream offerings from Elate as well. So this is a great palette. I do like to keep all of my creams with my creams and all of my powders with my powders. So if I had any other refillable options like the Sappho or things like that, this can all live in there too, which I really like. And the smaller one is 25 and the larger one is 28. And these are great, obviously better for the environment, all of that good stuff. So they are also a vegan formulation, and as you just heard me say, there are 10 different shades. They are a quite moisturizing formula, so I do want to talk a little bit about that, but first let's talk about what makes them moisturizing, and that is the evening primrose oil. I love that they use this in here because it is very good for sensitive skin. So if you have eczema and acne, this is still going to be something that you could use. It has bamboo stem extract, which is also incredibly moisturizing, as well as restores the elasticity within the skin. And they are just this beautiful, soft, blendable color. So you could see when I hold this up, you can see my finger marks. Some are not my finger marks, some are like I dropped it or something like that, but they are very emollient to the touch. So you need the smallest amount of this product, and I am going to demonstrate by applying this on my cheeks here today. So I did take the lightest shade. I took the shade Wonder and I did apply that to the high points of my cheeks. It is more of their highlighting option. And then I took my blush. Today I am wearing the blush in Bliss. I love this color, probably my favorite. And you can see I'm just applying the tiniest little bit and blending it in with my fingers. The warmth of your finger is really going to blend this in. I do find that though they are more of an emollient product, once you work it into the skin, so that's why less is more, they are going to get a thin enough texture where they will not feel terribly tacky to your skin. Like your hair is not going to get all stuck in it. It's not glossy, but it is also certainly not a matte finish. So I think the people that are gonna like this the most are definitely people like me that like that more radiant, dewy look on the skin. And you are, of course, in control of wherever you are applying that. So I do predominantly like these for the cheeks and lips. I did demonstrate them also on my eyes today. I did use the shade Flare, which is this really beautiful bronzy tone, and then I took the shade Wander on the inner corners of my eyes as well. And you can see just the tiniest little bit, and the more that you tap it in, the more that it sort of settles where you want it to. To get the most longevity out of these, I do encourage priming and setting them. For me, I don't mind reapplying a product like this. So if you have the smaller palette, you could take it with you, but these are not going to be like all day, not penetrable wear, but they are going to look so much like your skin. So wonderful and radiant. Like whenever I put these on, especially if I'm on camera, if you have photos, things like that, I just love how they look. I also really love the shade range that they've chosen as well. So you just need to play with these a little bit. I do think they have a beautiful texture. If you like the Kjaer Weis blushes, I think that you will like these. These are a little bit more emollient than that. I think they have a little bit more oils formulated in them, but the colorway for sure reminds me a lot of Kjaer Weis. In fact, if we still carried them, I'd be interested in creating dupes. But I did say they have a beautiful shade range, so let's just jump right into that. That is the most important. And as always, I'm going to include a swatch photo of all of these for you down below as well. So let's start with the shade that I first spoke about, it is the shade Wonder. Wonder is definitely more of a highlight shade, but it's not super pale. So if you have incredibly fair skin, I think you might like something a little bit lighter than this. This has a mauve-y hue. It does remind me of Kjaer Weis Radiance, if you're familiar with that, but it's a lot more champagne toned. It's not at all dark. It's actually really beautiful. You can see the way it's picking up on the back of my hand. One of my favorites because I do love a beautiful cream highlight. It also has a level of luminosity that like the RMS Living Luminizer has, which is one of my very favorites. Moving right along, we've got the shade Beam. Beam is an interesting shade because it's very pale. It is like an incredibly fair peach tone. So if you have very light skin, I think this would work for you. This would also be a really great creamy, milky nude option or a good eyeshadow base. You definitely would need to set this one in place though on the eyes. Then we've got the shade Flare. Flare is the one that, again, I did use in the outer corner of my eyes today. It is their definite bronze offering. So all of these have more, they have a matte texture, but they are a luminescent finish, if that makes sense. So there's not glitter or sparkle or anything like that in these. I love this tone because it almost has a bit of pink in it. So this is very much how my skin would look if I was to get a little bit of a burn, because I have that olivey kind of Italian complexion. It looks really natural and healthy. It's not quite the right color to like sculpt and carve out the cheeks, but I love it for a little something on the eyes, especially if I'm going for that more no makeup sort of look. Then we've got the shade Savvy. I think Savvy is going to be a favorite. I do have to say you are going to notice slight discrepancies in texture. The first three shades I just talked about are more emollient in texture than the shade Savvy. So my oily skin girls, the shade Savvy I think is one that, this one reminds me a lot of the Kjaer Weis formula. It's just a little bit drier, and it is also this beautiful pinky mauve tone, so it's got a little bit of purple in there as well. Again, this kind of looks like you've just been in the sun because it has that gorgeous amount of warmth. And my favorite thing about these, I really have to say, is the way that they blend. It is like effortless, like my dog could do it, you know what I mean? Then moving right along to the shade that I'm wearing today, this is the shade Bliss. Bliss is my favorite and definitely a more emollient option as well. Bliss is this beautiful, very similar to the shade we just did, but it's a little darker, a little more terracotta, and a little more rosy. So if you have a deeper complexion, but you're looking for something to that effect, that freshly in the sun sort of look, a good no makeup one as well, this is gonna be the one for you. Then we've got the shade Pinch. Pinch is really sweet. This is another one that is a little bit of a drier formula, but this one does, and by dry, I don't mean like hard to blend or anything like that. This one does have sparkles in it. So this is a sparkly, corally color, so it is that perfect in between of pink and orange. This one's also a little bit more sheer on the cheeks. So if blush intimidates you, I think this would be a great one because it is more sheer and because it does blend so very well. Then we've got the shade we've got the shade Whimsy, sorry. We've got the shade Whimsy. Whimsy is definitely one of the more emollient ones and definitely one of the more pigmented ones. This one, just use like a dot on each cheek. That is all you're gonna need, but it is just the most beautiful shade, especially when you get a nice thin layer on the skin. It's this beautiful, very corally pink, so it's very bright on the cheeks. It's not quite neon, it's not unwearable, but it's definitely going to give a lot of life to the cheeks. Speaking of giving a lot of life to the cheeks, we've got the shade Love. This one is like a neon. So this one, again, less is absolutely more. It's got a more sheer finish, very similar to that Pinch shade that I just mentioned, and this is just like a true hot pink. In fact, it reminds me a lot of the Dior Rosy Glow. It has that look that is somehow so bright, but very flattering on a wide variety of different skin tones. It's beautiful. And then for some darker offerings, if you've got a more deep complexion, these are going to be fabulous. We've got the shade Keen. Keen is a beautiful brown toned, purpley, pink, but still like a really pretty blushy shade. This is the one that I've actually put on my lips today. That's my favorite way to wear this. It's a little glossier on my lips right now because I did put a lip balm right on top of it, but this one is beautiful if you like a more rich, saturated purple tone. And then finally, we've got the shade Allure. And Allure is in that same family, but it is quite a bit deeper. It's almost more of a berry, like it's got a kiss of red to it, but definitely that rich, beautiful plum color. Look at me. I'm covered and I love it. These are gorgeous, you guys. If you're looking for a cream blush, I think they are always beautiful to pick up in the fall winter months. Our skin's a little bit drier. You're maybe looking for something to boost up that radiance level. These are going to do that. They're easy to use, but do bear in mind, you will need some level of reapplication throughout the day with these, but they are so very worth it. So 10 different shades. I think we've got a beautiful variety. Again, I will include that swatch photo for you down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding these products, I know that they are a newer launch on the website. Please do not hesitate to reach out. I love to talk to you guys about this stuff. Hello, it's kind of my job and I get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But if you enjoyed this video, you enjoy Elate Cosmetics, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. I upload new videos here every single week and I don't want you guys to miss them. But thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to keep in touch with us on our social medias as well. We are everywhere. We post all kinds of extra content. In fact, on our Instagram, we have a wonderful swatch video of the lovely Sarah K. Sarah K has a much more beautiful, rich complexion than myself, so it's going to be a great way for those of you to see what these colors may look like on a different skin tone as well and kind of see those guys in action. So thank you all so much again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye!